Our tax base has been eroded.
The era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers.
I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. Right? Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded.
The era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers.
I need people who are
Alright, guys. Looks like we are live now, and I do apologize for that. Just before, or just as we came on air, uh, there was a slight power spike here, and it looks like it may have reset 2 or 3 things, and I had to go out and do a restart. This is the first night that we are doing our live, doing it via simulcast on both X and YouTube, and we just wanted to make sure that we had it coming through. But looks like we do have audio. Angie, you there? Alright. So anyway, after that, apologize for the delay, guys, but this is Papa D and Angela, and we are coming to you. It's our first true live stream on X. You can catch us on X, you can catch us on YouTube, like I said. Looks like everything is running hot and normal right now, so we're in good shape. So as I started out the night, we ran that little clip. That was a little something I found that I cannot get enough of. The New York State governor, being from Florida here, it's funny that she threw us all to the wind, and then is begging everyone to move back from Palm Beach. I read a story recently that New York State has lost hundreds of millions of dollars. New York City has lost, I think it was close to $1 trillion in business, business overall, and the overall tax degradation up there since Madame Hamid Lamy took office has dropped by about near $60 million to the city. So he's doing a great job. He's doing a real great job. Well, he's he's killing it. You do get what you pay for, no doubt about that. You know. But anyway, this evening again we are coming to you live for the first time with both channels running. And that's what caused the problem, I think. And hopefully by next week when we get with you guys, we will have that. We won't have a power spike at the exact wrong second. But things are going in the world. Things are going interesting, Ange. I don't know where we wanted to start our discussion. I was actually just catching up on the most current goings on with respect to, of course, the big story in the world, the war with Iran, and the current state of the U.S. blockade. It's funny. Don't mess. Yeah, they can. It makes me laugh that they continue to go out of their way to pound their chests and be strong about it. The president recently has come out and made it very clear that this, a proposal was made, and at the last minute, our delegation that was heading to Pakistan for the most recent ceasefire negotiations.
Right. Trying to talk it out.
Yeah.
All that diplomacy
Well,
we've been talking about.
and they were pulled back. The president said nobody's flying, 15, 18 hours anywhere when we're looking at a hot mess like we have.
Right.
And
I love that he said if they need anything, they can call us.
exactly.
If you have our number at the White House, if you're really serious about sitting down at the table and making a deal and coming to agreeing to all the terms
Mm-hmm.
set out by the president, there is no reason for us to keep traveling and wasting all of our time. My bad. So we're gonna just stay home. And when you guys are ready, you call us. That is the most. He is the New Yorker deal in him, the businessman in him, just keeps on coming out, and it's just. I agree with him because there is no point in showing up when nobody even knows who's coming to the table to have the talk,
Right.
much less agreeing on anything. They're having a bad time over there lately. They've been losing billions a day.
Oh. Yeah, there's
Revenue.
I'm just playing around here, guys. You see a little bit of activity possibly on the screen. I don't think you see it from here, but we got a little bit of a delay, a double on the audio. I'm just trying to undo that. But hello, hello.
I can hear
You there?
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotta kill my audio here in the studio. Hello, hello. Yeah, I think we're good. But yeah, the seriousness of the situation with Iran right now, they're within 3 or 4 days of having nowhere to put their oil. They've actually brought in an old tanker to offload oil as it's being pumped out of the ground. Let me explain how that's important, the timing of all this. Again, the president has given them 3 days or so. Now the talks have broken down. We don't even know where that stands. But when you're drilling for oil, it's not like you can stop pumping without causing permanent damage and a closure of your fields. So the oil fields have to continue to operate. They've got to keep pumping. Oil's got to come up. Oil's got to be put somewhere. Oil's got to get on boats or barges, tankers, and it's got to go. If they allow this to get to the point where they have to shut down the fields, shut down the actual pumping process because they have nowhere to store their oil, because all the tanks on the island are full, all the tankers they've got are full, whatever the case may be, they basically just blew their economy up, because and I don't know the technical reasoning, but it has something to do with the oil. Then it gets into the gaps in the strata, and it's just like you can't turn the switch back on. You're done. So these guys are still trying to bargain from a position of strength that they don't have. They are still bargaining like they've got the cards, and the president made a statement. We're holding all the cards. That's why we're not sending a delegation over. They are not giving up on their peaceful use of nuclear power. We all know where that goes. So, at what point do... Yeah, I think I killed that audio. Ange? Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Wish I could shut that down. Aha. Alright. I know where the problem is. I'll fix it in a minute. But they're bargaining from a position of weakness. And they're within days of literally shutting down their economy. The Gulf is blocked. We've blocked it. Nobody's going in or out. They took a couple of ships, which we're finding out now that apparently was set up in Huey. That was a story I'd made up. I never saw pirates or anybody take over a ship by force, and the people on the ship opened up the door and threw the ladder out to them and said, "Come on in." Yeah, but I've never seen that happen. But I didn't think that happened. But it could happen. Things could happen.
You never know.
Stranger things have happened, I guess. So yeah, they're in a position right now that it may be a position where their country is shut down and destroyed economically before another shot has to be fired. If those fields get shut down, and like we had talked about earlier or last week, I mean, people aren't being paid. The military's not being paid. The people that are working for a living aren't getting paid.
They're now telling people to the Iranian president, parliament, whoever he is this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever it is.
Right, got on and had a press conference this morning, basically telling the people of Iran to only use certain, like, they're limiting their electrical use now.
Right.
And to only use certain times a day, and only plug in certain amount of things at a time, and all these things. And I watched something online today that someone made a very valid good point. They're in the desert, obviously. It's hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's hot on any given day.
Yep.
They don't like the IRGC. They didn't like them before. They still don't like them now. There is going to be an upheaval that I don't think the leadership that is still left standing really understands. I think they're in complete denial of the entire situation. We have tried to go over there and talk in Pakistan. We have tried to give them time to get their stuff together and come to the table with a group that they feel confident that could take over in the future and come to all the agreements that the United States requires to end this once and for all. And their denial and their ego is going to be their demise. And that is how a lot of these dictatorships work. They will not go until you take them out or they take themselves out first. And that is what's happening right now. We don't necessarily have to do anything. In the words of, it's a catchy phrase, the trash is about to take itself out.
That's right.
And Trump isn't going to waste any more taxpayer dollars fueling these planes to travel crazy amounts of hours overseas for literally nothing, when we could be using our time more wisely in our own country, on other things, or in the next step after they implode on themselves, which is coming. Like you said, that I feel like it's either going to be this week or next week. We're looking at a very dire situation for them if they don't really. I mean, the time has passed. Like, the time has come and gone. The time for diplomacy, I feel like, has come and gone. Now we just sit back and wait until the dust settles. pretty
Right.
much. And I agree with Trump. It's a smart move. It's a strategic move. It's something that I feel like in administrations past would not have been thought of. Just in general, this whole thing could not have been done by any other president, in my opinion.
Well, no.
Where we are militarily right now, and as well with the president that we have inside the Oval Office, none of this would have been plausible or been able to be as successful as it has been thus far for us.
Right. I mean, your presidents past have what they've done is the exact opposite. They've decimated the military. They have, in Barack Obama's case, a man should go to jail for what he did as far as unleashing and giving back the billions of dollars, freezing up billions of dollars of Iranian funds, which jump-started their ability to then build up the military, what they have, the nuclear, what they were trying to build from a nuclear standpoint. Prior to that, they were nowhere near that. And then you had a situation where in the first administration, Trump shut it down, and then when Biden came along, he opened it back up again and gave away the farm. So, the time and history will remember. History will remember, I think, very fondly President Trump down the road, because it's like I've spoken to a number of people about this. We've talked about it, Ange. This is like a 8-layer, multiple board chess game, and the president and his administration are about 18 steps ahead. The true point where we're going to is still 14 moves down the board, and the moves that are being made now are just getting us there, are getting us to that point.
Right.
The current situation with what's going on in Iran and the timing of the 3 to 5 days, the time that their clock is ticking for their ability to possibly lose their ability to pump at all. You also have what's going on in the EU, what's going on in Australia. Australia's down to like a week's worth of diesel. I think we were going to send a tanker. We were sending some diesel down to Australia to help them out. Europe is in a position right now where they're within days of running out of jet fuel. And some would say, well, this is the punitive part of not helping, and that's not really the truth. At any point in time, that Gulf could be opened back up, and that oil could flow. It's just because it matters less to us than it matters to the rest of the world. Clearly,
And the EU right now has their head up their behind,
mm-hmm.
and their pride is controlling their government.
Absolutely.
And their prime minister is looking like he's on the outs pretty
Mm-hmm.
soon himself. So it is, you know, when you have turmoil within your own country's government, and then you have a crisis that you're trying to navigate so that your people can function and live, that actually pay taxes into a system that they don't get anything back from. Um, I think you've got a very, very tricky, crazy situation that I hope they can resolve. But if they keep going down the path, I mean, we
Right.
offered,
Well,
join us in this, and you know, they said no. Then they realized all these other things started happening. They thought it was gonna button up quick, and we were gonna, you know, save the day and all this stuff, and that didn't work out. No, they don't understand the depth of which the Iranian regime will stoop to come out of this not in a body bag.
right.
And it's unfortunate, but maybe the next prime minister that they have, he or she will probably he, I think,
Yeah.
there's a couple of guys in
Yeah.
in the running right now that they've been throwing names out there.
Yeah.
But irregardless, hopefully the next prime minister that comes into power really turns a lot of things around over there. And really, France is part of that too. I mean, they haven't really done anything to help navigate, negotiate, none of it. Kind of true to fashion for
Yeah.
the French, but um, it's, you know, it is going to be a dire situation over there, and I think that's why Trump feels that
Sure.
really right now going over there isn't going to help us. It's
Right.
not going to fix anything, and we have that ability, like you said, Dad. We're holding the cards in a situation right now that we can sit back and
Right.
say, okay, you figure it out, and you let us know when you're
Right, right. Hey guys, Angie, I'm gonna stand by for. I'm gonna just 1 second. I have to turn one thing off. I'm gonna go back to our header for just literally a couple of seconds. I've got to throw a couple switches here. So guys, stand by 1 second. We're just gonna take about a 10-second break, and then I'll be back. We'll be back with it. I've just got to change screens here and get rid of some audio interference that we're getting from our streams, multiple streams. So stand by for just 1 second, guys. We'll be right back in no time flat.
There you go. Is it still like on the?
I think I'm getting. I've got audio channels open on other tabs. It's not that one. And it's not. I didn't see it coming through on our. Okay, so we should be going live there. And I'm looking for the channel that I have left. There's a channel open somewhere. I just got to find it. I don't even see us coming through on YouTube.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we're good on.
Oh, I forgot that was tonight. Okay. Trump's at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah. Oh man. Check.
I can hear you.
All right, we're just gonna have to roll with it for now. Let me bring. I'm gonna do that clip real quick that I showed you earlier.
Okay.
All right, guys. Looks like we are good to go. We had a little bit of noise I had to clear up, and I apologize for that little non-commercial commercial break.
Right. Thanks for sticking with us.
Thanks for sticking with us. We appreciate it. As those of you that joined us last week would remember, we I had most of my streaming equipment went down on us and blew up, and I had to replace a lot of it over the last week. So there's still some gremlins left in the bugs when we get on, but it's a much better situation than we had it. But anyway, getting back to the straight, they're in a pickle. They know they're in a pickle. We are currently not negotiating. We are not there to negotiate because they came up with another list of non-negotiable points. The top of the list being they think they deserve to have the right for peaceful use of nukes, and as our president and the administration have said, no nukes. So have a nice day with no nukes.
No nukes for you.
No nukes for you. Oh, here we are. We are. Did you know we are live on both X and YouTube?
Hey, go follow us on X, you guys. If you haven't done already, go check it out.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
The link is on the profile description,
Mm-hmm.
so you can just click on there. It'll take you right to it. Give us a follow. If you're not able to get to that right this second, take care of that too.
Yep, everything seems to be rocking and rolling on that. So another thing that we wanted to get to was, or that I had, we wanted to discuss. We kind of were tag teaming what our list of stories we wanted to get into tonight's discussion. What happened in Virginia? Again, we're bouncing around on a couple different hot points because there's things that people just don't pick up in the news and don't realize the importance. Ange, do you want to dig in there and just give the overview of what generally happened?
There's a lot of layers to this.
There's a lot to unpack, but just
I'm gonna go just basic 5-year-old explanation. Okay, Democrats want to win elections. They don't like to lose. They're really upset that they lost Virginia big time during the election when Trump won. Thank God. And so now they have come together and decided they want to do a redistricting situation in the state of Virginia, and they held a special election, and they spent a lot of money. And
Yeah.
they really
it was a constitutional amendment is what they had to go for,
right.
and it would have had them end up with, out of a largely Republican or a very heavy Republican state, it would have been like one representative and 9 Democratic representatives. They called that fair and honest and balanced.
But the Supreme Court today said nay.
The Supreme Court of the state of Virginia.
Virginia.
But how they went about it, they didn't follow their own rules. They didn't follow their own law. The way it was worded, we want fair representation and bring fairness back, and
They
they
were showing the maps to the
Mhm.
voters who would be voting on the proposition or the amendment, and they got caught in all that. They got caught big time.
Absolutely.
Big time. And now they are not going to get to do all of their redistricting situations
Yeah, they're right now. And I'm looking for another clip here, so pardon me while I type and go. But there we go. We'll bring that up here ever so shortly. But the it wasn't just a heck no by their state Supreme Court, or by was a judge that district judge that came up and said, no, it cannot be debated. There is no, you're not certifying the election. It was improper. It wasn't done in accordance with law, and it is blatantly unconstitutional. So of course they say that they're going to debate it. Appeal it. But you know,
That will not be worth their while.
And
also more wasted taxpayer dollars.
exactly. I'm looking for the clip of and the response. You know, the response, of course, the Democrats is that we're going to fight this. It's this gerrymandering goes on all over. The gerrymandering goes on largely Democrats right now, but of course, every 10 years in most states this takes place. You have redistricting and lines redrawn. That's where you get all those crazy lines when you look at the districting maps. Everybody's trying to poke and choose and get their guys in so they get the biggest representation and therefore control of Congress. But yeah, we're going through the beginnings of this in Florida, and in response to this, or not in response to it, but it's simultaneous to this, Hakeem Jeffries, the big mouth of the Not South, shot off his pie hole and about what's going on in Florida, and he got a little kickback from our governor down here in Florida. And I'm going to show you this clip. I've brought this up. This clip's been shown in this short in a number of places, and I believe this one's coming actually from one of the Fox affiliates. But let me see if I can, Angie, tee this up real quick. It is a good one. Let's see if we can get this. Gets rid. Thank you for the whoever the clip was posted and reposted, but it's I believe that, like I said, originally it was posted through Fox.
Our message to Florida Republicans is F around and find out. They started this war, and we're going to finish it.
Please be my guest. I will pay for you to come down to Florida and campaign. I'll put you up in the Florida governor's mansion. There's nothing that could be better for Republicans in Florida than to see Hakeem Jeffries, everywhere around this state.
Our message to Florida Republicans is F around and find.
You gotta love our governor. Ron DeSantis is awesome. And God, I hope one day we get a chance to have him on the broadcast. He's got a set, man. He puts it where it's at, and he's going to be. There's already talk about where position being. He's finishing up his term, and of course he was called a lame duck and everything else by Jeffries. He just he gets they get down in the dirt. That's all. But he's got a future, and the president had already said that he's would certainly love to find a position for him. And he has his future is bright in the political arena, and we love the guy. But yeah, that just F around and find out. F around and find out. Well, you guys effed around, and now you're finding out. It isn't working out. They went from dancing in the street about getting. Stealing the state of Virginia, and then it ain't working out so well. I've heard estimates that there could be a chance that this does get through, but what I read, they did not follow the law. It didn't go through one session of their state senate, then then the voting, then another session of their state. It has to come through again to recertify that, just in case something changes. They didn't follow any of the rules, and they blatantly misrepresented. But there's a lot of this going on. I mean, the battle goes on in Texas. The battle goes on. California said they were going to when Texas did what they did, California came back and said, well, you know what? We're going to be down to maybe 2 Republican representatives. We're just going to anything you do, we're going to redraw the maps and reset it. So there's suits going on there too. It just shows you what they're made of. But that is a funny thing. And being down here in Florida, and those of our viewers maybe that are in Florida or want to come to Florida, hey, come on down, because apparently all we got to do is F around and find out. That's the way it works.
They got a great governor. It's clean. The roads are fantastic. Plenty to do.
Yeah.
Go check it out. You might have a good time.
Yeah, might have a good time down here.
I like it.
I mean,
I might be a little biased, but I love it.
you shouldn't have a big problem. Hearing all these things about the tourist industry getting beat up because of lack of jet fuel and things like that, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because we got plenty of oil and fuel and things here.
Oh, and there's plenty of people traveling.
Yeah.
The gas prices are coming back down, which is a
Yeah.
great sight to see, and I think it's right on schedule.
Things are lining up the way it is. I had a discussion with your mother tonight. We were talking about that, and it's easy to say. I went out, got gas tonight, and I was very. Hold on 1 second. I have to get rid of the little guy here. Go on. He is he's all about wanting to be with his Papa D. That's all there is to it. He'll force the door open.
He knows where the good time is going.
He knows where the good times roll.
He's office. He's
That's
like,
it.
I gotta be there. I don't know.
I mean, why would I want to be anywhere else, right? But we were having a discussion about that, and I went, and we're all feeling pain at the pump. I paid $3.85 a gallon for gas in a full size loaded big Cougar 8-cylinder F-150. It ain't fun. But you know what? I'm willing to take a little pain, because if we don't take the pain that's being caused because of this, they call it crisis. I don't call it a crisis. I lived through the oil crisis in the 70s. That was a crisis. This is nothing like that. And to feel a little pain so we don't have the potential of nukes going off in our backyards down the road, I think it's a little worth that. The Democrats would argue that. They would argue that till the cows come home. But none of us are enjoying paying the price. I live in the Orlando metro area, and tourism is king. Tourism pays the bills. I know the international travel, of which we get a lot of it,
Yes, you do.
is slowing down because of lack of jet fuel. The economy as a whole being slowing down, what's not, and what's going on overseas. So, you got to pick your battles and play. We're not playing the short game here, folks. We're playing the long game. These heathens, for lack of a better way to put it, had the ability to produce up to 11 nuclear bombs, warheads, which they admitted to in the first negotiation or
Right.
discussion.
And they said they would use them given the first opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
They have said that in the past.
The world was saying they didn't have any way to deliver it. Okay, give them nukes, even if they didn't have a way to deliver them. Give them nukes. What? They're not going to stick one on the back of a tractor trailer on a barge and drive it into somebody's harbor and light it off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. They would never do that.
I mean, why not?
And then, of course, we found out when they fired those 2 long-range missiles that no one apparently knew existed, that could have hit.
Maybe except for China. I'm sure China
Yeah,
has
well,
known.
you know where they got the technology from, but those things could have hit Rome, London, Moscow. I mean, the range on them, they could have done whatever, and even if they didn't use them right away, now you have them holding the world hostage, and that's that. Now who's got the bargaining chips? So no, we understand what we did. We understand why we did it, and I don't think anybody with a half a grain of common sense would argue that. The repercussions, yes, there are repercussions. There's always repercussions when anything that involves the Middle East, where our president and his administration have played the right hand, I should say, I guess.
Right. Correct the sequence of how they played their hand.
How they're playing the hand is what matters. And also, we don't need 80% of our imports coming out of there like the rest of the world does. Now, there was a time that was the case. Now, I remember back in the 70s when the fuel crisis came and there was rationing, and my dad would have to, he could only go, I think, on odd days and go get so much gas. And, that was absolutely insane because we imported so much from the Middle East that when they put the brakes on us and put the squeeze, we felt it. And that was the beginning of that never happening again. Unfortunately, the EU and other countries really didn't pay attention to that, and they continue to put as my dad would say, put all the chickens in one pot. So we are doing things to help. I know there's, like I said earlier, Ange, they're sending diesel down to Australia. I believe a Russian tanker was, a Russian tanker was allowed to come into Cuba. That we let in, because those poor folks down. That's a story by itself. What's going on down there right now?
We need to really do a whole episode about that.
We do.
That once the Iranian situation gets to a point where we've kind of put a pin in it, and the bow's been tied, and we're moving on. Trump has already said in various different press conferences from within the Oval Office that Cuba is the next on the agenda
Right.
of global situations
Well,
that we need to take care of, or at least help get involved to get them out of the situation that they're in. I'm not saying we're going to come in and take over and all that. That's not what we're doing, but that has been an issue for the United States for a very, 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 very long time. We will get into all the in-depth historical details and what the future could look like, might need to look like. Like, the whole entire world is shifting and changing and adapting. And I feel like what Trump is doing right now is in kind of like in a business type of way, in a thinking type of way. He's diversifying the portfolio. We're not about all the eggs in one basket. We're not about too little here, too much there. We want it just enough that we can take care of all the things we need to, and we're not relying, like you said, Dad, like in the 70s, we're not relying on any one given country for anything. We're bringing the jobs here. We're making things here. We're drilling oil here. We are going to be okay regardless what happens in the EU, regardless what happens in the Middle East, regardless what happens with China and Russia and anybody else. We can handle ourselves, but we can also come to the aid of others if they need us, if it's adequate for us to help them. And I think that's the right move.
If it makes sense for us, and this is what it all comes back to. Like you said, it's just now one thing I can say is I saw it earlier this evening. I just double checked it. There's apparently some backdoor discussions going on between Marco Rubio and Castro's grandson. They've had a number of conversations, nothing formal, nothing that, but there are discussions going on. Of course, the younger Castro understands what's going on and probably is willing and wants to work with the United States. So that's coming to a head very quickly. I mean, they're down to where I think it was last night, maybe, or the night before. They had power shut off to the island for 20 hours. It's not even a couple hours at a time. It's hard. They're going through dumps to find food. It's getting worse by the day. So there are discussions going on. There's going to be some things going on there, and that will be buttoned up. And I think that down the road, we'll be looking at a Cuba that goes back to where it used to be. Where it was a place to vacation, it was a place of vibrant economy and a vibrant people. The people are amazing. We have a heavy, obviously, Cuban population in Florida, mainly South Florida, but here where I am in Central Florida, a number of families I know and businesses that I go to, and they're wonderful people. All they want is for their country, their island, to go back to the way it was, also, and to have the people prosper again. They've got the world at their door, and it's a similar situation to Iran. You just have to get the crazies and the this is not a religious crew that's running the country. It's like I said, it's a military government. It's never made sense. It's never functioned properly. Cuba has never stood on its own 2 feet. It's never been able to. It isn't like other than sugarcane, and then they've got some minerals. Some I believe on be the eastern part of the island, I guess. But they've always, since the Castro, the military took over. If it wasn't Russia, China, it was Venezuela. We know where that got them. So their ability to become their own nation again and produce and do things and for their people is there. The people just have to push and then take the country back, and I think that's about ready to happen. I mean,
And I do too.
it's a shame that they.
The best hope that they could have in the next 10 to 20 years is they're, revitalizing the tourism to that country.
Right.
That is going to be their lifeline. It always was.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago, you could go to the Keys and go straight to Cuba all in a weekend, and people did that so much. And now, I feel like going forward, revitalizing the country, starting from the ground up. Obviously, there is nowhere else to go but up, and really giving your people the hope that they've been craving for so many decades. I think it's going to bring a lot more Cuban Americans back. It maybe not to live there necessarily, but to visit. They want to be able to show their children their culture, where their
Right.
ancestors are coming from, all the places they remember. And making those new memories too. And I hope that going forward, now that they've seen and they've kind of hit rock bottom, essentially,
Right.
going up from here and really getting to a point where they can be proud of where they come from, and the world is going to be a safer place for it.
Right.
So,
And it's coming. It's just the pain that you're going through now is unconscionable, and nobody wants to see people that are no electricity, going through the dumps looking for food. The hospitals, because there's no electricity, medicine in the hospitals is going bad. There's
they stop cancer treatments for everybody.
yeah, it's just a horrible situation for beautiful people that don't deserve it. So there are a lot of things going on. The main thrust I want to throw is just that there apparently are discussions going on. We figured there were, but with all that's going on with Iran, the battles with NATO, with EU, there's so many fronts that's being fought, no pun intended, that the Cuban situation, like Venezuela, has sort of been just shuffled to the back burner. It's not getting the media attention. But that will be, I think, changing. And like you said, Ange, once the dust settles on what ultimately happens with Iran. And, at the end of the day, we bounce back and forth a little bit. But, the Iranian situation, one way or another, is going to come to a head. And it's going to be, in some way or another, concluded here within the next week or so. The chances are over. They're rolling back on everything they wanted to. They said everything that they said they would give up, and that the concessions they would make, and we would be able to normalize and help them rebuild. Now they're back to where they started. Now the military is in charge, or whoever at that level, that general that's in charge.
Nobody knows.
How do you know who you?
I think the administration has an idea because they have eyes. We have intel in the region.
Well, our friends in Israel know. Our friends in Israel know exactly what's going on.
I think that what they're waiting on is they know these types. We've got people who train and their whole entire careers with the government are focused on reading people's situations and the writings on the wall, like I said.
Right.
They know what's coming. We know what's coming. All of us can see it coming before it even happens, but I'm getting more mood whiplash this week. Dad and I were talking about it earlier in the week. I can't keep it straight. Is it closed? Is it open? Are they going through? Are they not going through? It's like, stay tuned next week. We don't know.
Let me see if I have that video, Ange.
It's awful. I'm getting whiplash, seriously.
You go. You go look at this. It's open. Then you go look at this, and then they close. So they go open, and then they close. Okay,
Got
you go.
it.
You
I got
try. Come on.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Come on, you go.
Open.
Yeah, okay. Now this way.
Close.
No, they close.
Let's shut that down there. Thank you for who posted that. That is a hilarious. That's from Mad TV, and I know that was posted by another guy on TikTok. But you laugh about it, but that's what it is. I mean, we're open, we're closed. We're open, we're closed. President said, you know what? We're closed. Now, we're done. We're blocking it. Y'all, you know, when you guys over in Europe want to come get your oil, just come and get it. Meanwhile, we're waiting. You know, they're just waiting for us to clean up the mess. But it will come to fruition here very shortly. I mean, this is not going to be any more drawn out than it has to be. I just hope it doesn't come down to the Iranian people losing, completely imploding their economy because they have to shut those fields, stop pumping those fields. And people don't realize that. That's something that most people have not heard about. And the timing would line up with, you know, the 3 to 5 day time frame that we've kind of laid out on that most recent extension to the Pakistanis. So we'll see where it all ends. We hope for the best, but you know, they may just be out of business, but we're still gonna have to go in there and clean up the military issues and the people in power right now, because the people there, like you said, Andrew, are paying the price for it very dearly. But so that is the most recent update there. We also saw that Pete Hegsworth gave a press conference earlier today, and you know, we won't play that. It's available out there. As a matter of fact, I think I'll put it out on the page here. But you know, we are prepared to do whatever is necessary at the instruction of the president. We are rearmed, and they haven't even seen the fury that will be thrown on them if it gets to that point, which we hope it doesn't. So I think we're just in a holding pattern right now. With we are blocking the Gulf, we are holding the Gulf. The Iranians took a couple ships that weren't even our ships. I think they were Swiss. And then, like I said, go out and check the video out, because most pirates don't get invited on board and have the doors open for them and ladders thrown down to them. So you make it. We're not here to judge.
Right, I was just about to say, we don't judge. We just
You know, call me Captain Obvious. You know, if I got guys with guns pulling up on speedboats and I'm on a tanker the size of 4 football fields, I mean, get the garden hose out, you know. But no, come on, right, doors over here. Come on, here's a ladder. Come on in. Yeah. Anyway, with that said, we're coming up on top of the hour, and we've passed through the point at which I wanted to be on, the point we were already made. But I did want to spend some time talking about one individual in Congress who said she was worth $30 million, but then is worth $80,000. Potentially married her brother, immigration problems, owned a winery, but then sold the winery.
didn't make any wine.
And they never made wine there. And she's Muslim and they don't drink, so I'm trying to figure out how you own a winery. But anyway. Anyway, Omar. Omar. Apparently, there was a hearing going to be held, and she decided to ghost the hearing.
She said,
Nope, not coming. Just wait.
Be interested. Well, you know what? I mean, Hillary and Bill set the precedent for
Yeah.
no, we're not going to go until you basically threaten us with, contempt. So we'll see.
Well, Bill and Hillary weren't standing close to the edge on a immigration violation, falsification of documents, fraud,
Treason.
and standing on the precipice of being shot out of the country on a cannon. And that's about what's looking at. The,
Can we, if anybody's watching on X that knows anybody important, please give them a suggestion of the shooting her out of a cannon.
Yeah.
She's going, that sounds like a great
I
time.
mean, it can't be dangerous or anything because they do it at the circus all the time.
Evil Knievel
Right?
and the circus people, they train. Give her like a
Gone.
30
So
minute.
we take her and her brother, husband, brother, and we take them with their wine, with the bottle of their wine, and we put them in a can, and we shoot them back over to Somalia. I mean, again, it works at the circus. Who am I? Who's
I
that?
would go to the food truck
Okay.
and get my little drink and sit down and get a really nice spot. Kind of like you're watching a rocket go off.
Like being in Florida watching rocket launches at David Delivers Space.
Right. Right. Check that out. If you haven't, check all the things. Follow us on X. If you haven't followed us here, you better.
Well, if they're watching us here, wherever here is. See, this is the thing.
YouTube.
Yeah, let me tell you something, guys. I'm not a tech guy, all right?
This is big time.
But we got this figured out.
We're big time in it.
We're big time in it now, and you know what? We do it just because we like to have a good time. If we get people. I've seen traffic on our X channel go through the roof.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's different.
Really.
We were used to mainly doing our thing on our YouTube channel, and it's gone really well over the last year. And we've got a couple thousand subscribers, and that's awesome. And we love if we have a handful of people come out and spend some time with us, we love it. But what I've seen since I have started migrating over and doing the live stream here, after updating rebuilding the studio, it's been amazed me. I absolutely amazed, and I'm blessed we're blessed to have you be able to spend time with you guys. People just want to spend time listening to what we have to say. Sometimes we just go out somewhere, and it takes us a while to come back, but we get there. I was looking I have a lot of podcasters and YouTubers and stuff that I follow. Get a lot of my political information from, as most people. Most people do not get their information anymore from the regular broadcast news. It's coming from streamers and YouTube channels and YouTube personalities. I think the closest you're going to get to somebody who has any credibility anymore is Fox, and I follow Fox quite a bit. It's the only TV news, if that's what you call it, that I even bother putting on. I don't live and die by everything they say, but I think we get a straighter story than we would get otherwise from other networks that shall remain nameless. And I watch a number of them, let's just say that. And, they pick a topic and they stay on it and they do their video and, scripted and all that. And I really like the fact that, Angela, we just don't do that. We get together and we do we've got our notations of what's going on that day. Same thing with the daily. Now, I didn't do one today because we were going to have the stream tonight. But I'll normally do a little quick daily on X and throw a little, here's what's going on today, or here's a news blip that I just became aware of. But this is not a, teleprompter scripted thing. We know that the topics of the day that matter, and the things that, if you guys wanted to get online and see what's going on in the world, maybe those are the top 3 or 4 things you guys would want to look for and find out about. So that's kind of the way we play this. We played it since day one. And I've been asked about that. Do you do something, or are you going to do something more formal, like put out videos and, flashy things? When I try to run a clip through, there's times that works out well, and there's other times it looks like, Mickey Mouse coming to town here. But we get there. And we get there, we have a good time, but we're serious when it's time to be serious.
Right. Absolutely. And if you guys go back and check back to some of the videos that
that's why we call it Let's Talk About It, because that's all we're doing. We spend time talking to each other, talking to you, having a good time, bringing some news to you that, you know, things that we find and we've heard about and looked into today or whatever, and we have a good time doing it. It's in the future we're talking about. We have the ability to bring in people and have formalized, and I'd love to do that. There's people I would love to have on and do a Q&A and whatnot. We'll be doing that. But the show is never going to be so shirt and tie.
No, I don't want to.
It stops being
I
fun.
don't want to be stuffy because that's just not. It's not me.
Well,
And I know it's not you, Dad. And, you know, I'm sitting in my kitchen. You're in the room in your little studio office situation. We're at home. You know, I want to feel like I'm at home, just having a conversation. I don't want to feel like
yeah.
I'm in this, I have to put on a production and be somebody just to get views and all that. The right people are going to come.
Right.
And I'm so glad to all of you that have already subscribed and checked out the new X page. Stay tuned for updates on that as well, because we'll let you know when we're going to have a live stream or when anything major is going on with the channel. And also as well on YouTube. Hit that bell. That's a way you'll know everything that happens. You will be the first to know, regardless of where you are. So just keep that in mind. We're going to grow it more. We're going to go into a lot more depth about certain topics that we just briefly touched on in the last couple of episodes. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm proud to be an American.
Got that right.
I am so lucky to be alive in a time that we are now, and to be a free citizen of the United States of America is just the most incredible thing on earth. So and if we have to do whatever we need to do to keep that freedom intact, and the first line of defense for us is knowledge, and we want everybody that watches us to be just as knowledgeable as we are, and have a good time while you're being informed. And I think that's what it's all about. And I hope you guys feel that way. If you do, like I said, follow along.
I think if they, they're here, they're following us for that reason. Like a friend of mine at work said that he heard somewhere, those of us that are here to see what's going on and are here in this country today, man, we hit the birthright lottery. Because you just as easily could have popped up in the middle of what's going on in Iran. You were born in the greatest country on the planet. Do we have our faults? Damn straight we do.
Nobody's perfect.
No, but hey man, we've only had 250 years to work this out. We got hopefully hundreds more to figure it out.
Right.
But would you rather be here with our imperfect country and have the right to do things like we're doing, like Angie and I are doing? We decided a year ago, about a year ago, I guess it was. And I said, because I had my other channel that I was doing all my streaming for the space shots and all, and I was like, you know what, we could do a channel. I've got like 4 of them lined up. I said, let's just get out there and talk to people. We're not preaching. We're just talking about.
I think it was after the.
It was right before the election.
No, it was right after the first assassination attempt on Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, between that point and then the November election.
Yeah.
So it just turned into be something that we thought, well, we enjoy talking about politics. We enjoy talking about what's going on in the world. We always have. My girls were raised on, I'm a political junkie, and that was one of my majors in college. Not that that means anything, but
I remember watching speeches of Daddy Bush as a very young child on TV, and I'd have the couch cushion on the floor and my dolls, and I'd be watching politics on TV at 2, 3 years old. I mean, that's just the type of household I grew up in, and I'm very grateful because a lot of people weren't, and they, maybe it's not your jam, but I think if you're a tax-paying American, it needs to be your jam.
it needs to be your jam. You need to. My mom never voted once in her life. rest her soul. God rest her soul. And I told her, I remember telling her more than once when she would complain about the cost of food or something, or that damn politician or that damn president or whoever this. And I just tell her, much as I loved her, I told her shut up, because in my opinion, if you don't vote, if you don't care enough to vote, then you don't get the right to bitch about nothing. And that was my own mother, and she understood where I was. I mean, she understood where I was coming from. When I turned 18, I went off to college. My first presidential election was when I was 19. First chance I had to vote, and I've voted in every election since, every election in between, even the ones that people say don't matter, but they all matter.
Right, they all matter.
And
don't let them give you this load of BS
no.
that the midterms, well, your state and all this. No. You better get your butt out there. If you're registered, even if you're not, you still have time. You have plenty of time.
Right. And
Local election office.
that kind of brings me up to the point that I wanted to make all along. Thanks, Ange, for the midterms. You know, guys, you got to vote, and you got to vote the right way, because let's put it in very clear perspective. Okay, if by some chance the other party comes in and takes control of the House, now some would say, there's people out there saying, well, then all this will stop. You know, when that happens, everything's going to stop. The brakes are going to come on, and all we're going to have is 2 years of, you know, maybe this makes some of you happy out there. I hope it doesn't. Impeachment and investigations, and it's just going to bog things down, put the brakes on the train, hoping that they can get through that last 2 years of the presidency and the administration, so then they can do whatever it is they got to do. The bullpen for the other side is non-existent. I've seen the top contenders are either Newsom and whoever. Give me a break. This means bankrupting his own state, and the Democratic Party's talking about him being a front runner, and they're also talking about Kamala and AOC as a ticket. Now, you got these two can't put two sentences together.
I really hope to God she gets the nomination again.
Oh, I hope she does.
At that point, it is going to be like, it's going to be the easiest landslide election for the Republicans. It's going to be even more of a landslide than what Trump experienced a brief year ago. And that's my hope. I mean, I agree with you. They don't have any. I mean, there's
Well,
Shapiro,
you know,
but he hasn't even said he wants to do anything or he's interested in something like a presidential run.
but where are the intelligent, common sense Democrats that maybe should be making a run? Where are they not there at all? I don't know. But when I look at these front runners and I go, you know, I grew up in an era of when a Democrat was a Democrat. You know, the John Kennedy Democrat.
The kind of middle of the road.
Well, the true Democrat. Yeah, your center of the road Democrat that actually both sides out could work together. Then all of a sudden it went from that to socialism and dropped off the edge of the planet. But I find it hard to believe and hard to digest that that's the best they can do. I mean,
Well, I think they've sold themselves on this delusion of socialism and progressivism.
oh, it's socialist. Yeah, they're not socialists. They're not communists.
Right.
They're democratic socialists. They've created a new moniker for their party.
Yeah.
But look how that's working out in Minnesota, New York City, Seattle,
Yeah.
Portland. Thank you. At what point, you know, like my dad used to say, at what point do you keep smacking your head into a brick wall and saying, oop, it hurt again. Oop, I wonder if it's going to hurt if I do it again. They just keep doing it. I mean, we played that clip about the state of New York at the beginning. I mean, the governor of New York has made it very clear that if, you know, hey, if you want these great programs and you want all these things that we do, all this, in other words, all the money we waste, then you guys are going to have to kick in and just give us your money, because that's what it's going to take. I don't know where the common sense reasoning went away. I grew up in New Jersey. New Jersey, aside from Chris Christie, has always been, might be for a while again, Democratic, but it was never this level of stupidity. And then you see what they're trying to do now in the gerrymandering and what they tried to pull in Virginia and other states, what they're trying to pull. If you can't, it's like they always say, if they can't win, cheat. If they can't win, they'll steal it.
It proves the point that Trump was making the entire election cycle, which was, they couldn't, all these, at the time everybody thought was a conspiracy because we hadn't had the opportunity to prove it yet, which it has been proven now that certain things that were done during the prior elections were set up to help the Democrats win and give the advantage to
And highly illegal thing, the wiretap, phone tapping,
right.
and all the things they did that
We know
the
that
prior administration knew about and sanctioned.
right, and now that we know the levels that they're going to stoop to come out in some kind of a successful win, we can combat those with various different things that are being put in place. Like they're trying for the SAVE Act. That's a whole other situation. But Trump did sign an executive order to stop mail-in ballots only for various specific reasons, like they were talking about introducing into the SAVE Act as part of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the ways that the administration is combating the levels of crazy that these insane Democratic leaders are stooping to in Congress right now. And obviously, well, not even really Congress yet, but various different states. And that's just what we're gonna have to be on top of it as a party, as the Republican Party. And it's not gonna stop. This is not gonna stop for decades. They're like oh God, what is that? I'm thinking of it's like a animal or something. They burrow and then they only come out when it's the right conditions. So they're really fighting hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right now there's a lot of crazy stuff going on and a lot of things are coming to light. I think they're doing more harm for themselves than good by trying to do all these little nitpicky things instead of like they were like we all thought they were going to do, which was kind of like get everybody together, get in a room, get all the Democratic leaders together, come to a consensus about what we want for our party, what do we want our party to look like, and go from there and try to, band-aid the pieces back together, so to speak. None of that has happened. None. If anything, the exact opposite or worse has been happening with the Democratic Party. And in my personal opinion, there is maybe two senior Democratic, like, in Congress as a whole, that have any part of a brain. The rest of them, they get the same talking points, like we talked about in previous episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It's those, they roll out the talking points of the week, and everybody's going down the same checklist of talking points. It's the same thing week
Right.
in and week out. And if I were people living in those districts, in those states that have voted those people into Congress, I would be, you need to really look at yourself, honey, and
As
keep thinking.
as Jeffrey said, F around and find out, and that works both ways. It's working in the states like Virginia, in Portland, in New York City. They effed around and they found out. So unfortunately, they're going to drag themselves and their fellow citizens and their states and their cities down with them. So, but I found something that was a little bit kind of a final thought here that popped. This is from Fox News, but yeah, Trump is urging to declare American, in quotes, the official U.S. language ahead of the anniversary. It was an op-ed that was in the Washington Post that called the current name English a relic of the regime. So they Trump said, well, if English, Old English, where our heritage, where it comes from, to now declare the official U.S. language American. So we'll call it American, because American is not, what we speak, what they speak are two different things. So I thought that was kind of cute.
I'm not mad about that.
I'm not bad, but it doesn't bother me. That's like, you know,
A plethora of different cultures all blended into one, so America means a lot of different things.
oh, American, you know, I see people from overseas all the time at work, and they'll tell you that, boy, your version of English is interesting to say the least. Colorful, very colorful. But yeah, I mean that's if you're against that, then you're against the Gulf of America, and I'm definitely for the Gulf of America. So, but anyway, Ange, I think we're up against the wall on it. So
Yeah.
I had a good time tonight. I mean, aside from the ever reoccurring technical glitches, which we're gonna burn through, but that's part of being a non-tech guy in a tech world. As my son-in-law, works for a well-known rocket company, and does very well. I know I'm not as astute on those things, but we get those things done. But we are enjoying doing this. We're going to be back. Try to do this. I think Saturday night may be a good night. Angie had to step off camera for a second, as you can see. But we're going to, and she's back. We're going to try to do this. I'm not sure if Saturday night's going to be the night. We're going to try to drop it about the same day, or we don't drop a video, because we have the capability to do videos, but we do it live. As I said before, as we talked about earlier, I think we have a lot more fun. I like when things don't go exactly right. I want you guys being right in the middle of the fracas with us, because that's where all the fun is. And like Angie had said also, so we're sitting in our respective kitchen table or in our houses, and we just want to invite you guys in. Throw some comments at us. Make a comment. Hit the bell, certainly, and all those things. That's going to allow us to do the things we like to do. This is not a funded page. We are not monetized on either platform. We do what we do because we like to do it, and because we have fun at it. That's not to say if somebody wants to, be a sponsor. I mean, hey, if somebody's, got that kind of silliness in them, yes, bring it on down. We'll figure something out. But we enjoy just getting together and talking to you guys. But drop us a comment. At the very least, throw a comment after you watch the video or after you're done tonight, where you're from. We're starting to get traction and get people following us from all over. And that's exciting. That's exciting. Drop a comment with a hello. Like the video. Hit that heart thing on X, or hit like on YouTube if you're over there right now. If you're over at YouTube, if you're coming through watching us on YouTube, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We love our subscribers. We love our followers. Please do anything you can to help us broaden that out. I want to thank all the folks that get involved in this and help out. And we showed a couple clips there that came off of TikTok. We had the Fox little blurb there, headline, just for educational purposes. Nothing bad by it, but we appreciate all the media sources out there that work so hard to help us be informed, so we can help you be informed.
Right.
And that's kind of where it's at. We want to keep you informed. Okay, that was weird. All right. Audio's jumping around a little bit.
Oh, man.
Well, maybe I had a gremlin in there somewhere. Maybe one of them Chinese are trying to get in there and shut me down.
Oh, God.
Gotta watch out. But we appreciate you guys, and thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you both, our audience, both on YouTube and X. And we'll we'll probably I think we're shooting for either midweek or Saturday. Midweek's probably a good time, but you let us know if this works out good. If you would look forward to seeing us on a Saturday night, about the same time, 7 o'clock Eastern seems to be a good time, and the head count is reflecting that. Let us know. Let us know what you want us to talk about. If you want us to dedicate a show, we certainly could dedicate a show to a particular subject, but that's easy to do. But we like to just sort of do a shotgun approach and go over the news of the day while we're just having a good time talking to each other. There's times that we text a lot during the week, but we don't get a chance to talk to each other. Angela is up in Tennessee, so we don't get to see each other on a daily basis. So when I'm talking to her and we're doing the video conference, her and I are spending our quality time together talking, but we're doing it with you guys there. So that's kind of where we'll leave it for tonight. Again, leave comments, subscribe, do all the cool things. We do appreciate you. And then we think, Ange, we pull for next Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
We'll try to.
Also, the weird hand gestures and the going off. My husband's leaving for work, so I'm trying to say like, "Hey, I love you." Bye.
Is he gone already?
Tasking over here, huh?
Is he gone?
Yeah, he just left.
Oh well, he didn't say bye to me.
Well,
I'll fix him.
You can get on to him in a couple weeks.
We'll have to talk about that. No doubt about it. No sense of humor at all.
Right.
But okay, guys, we've bantered on long enough, and we thank you for coming out. And we will get together on next Saturday night. And in between, just keep an eye out on X. I'm gonna try to do the dailies as often as I can. That'll only be on the X platform for a lot of reasons. A lot of the stuff gets done remote, and it's a little bit technically an issue for now. So we'll do daily updates as necessary. If something's popping, something happens, I'll jump in, try to throw a video out real quick, a quick live video. But other than that, we'll see you at the next show. We appreciate you coming out, and have a great week, and see you soon. God bless America.
Yes, God bless America. God bless our president.
God bless our president.
Trump.
Take care, folks. Next time. And we're going to hit the buy button.